Alright, hello everyone. This is the start of a brand new project for me, where I attempt to run everything that I've never played out of my copious RPG collection on my bookcases, of which you can see only part. We are starting with Poisoned, which is a very rules-light pirate game that was notorious in its time for some stuff that went down at gaming conventions with people playing it, and a lot of the people who really liked it and a lot of the people who really hated it were opposite the kinds of people that you might see arguing the toss about RPGs today. So yeah, it's a pirate game. It's very simple, very vicious, very brutal. So as players, I would like everyone to lean into being horrible, nasty pirates. So there you go. And we're all kind of learning the system at the same time. I've had to read through it, but that's about it. So yeah, this is as quick and dirty as gaming gets. Really. All right. So you guys have a link to the pre-generated characters. Do any take anyone's particular fancy out of what we've got there?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of like Mr. Solomon Cock Reese.
Who's the quartermaster?
Yeah.
Pretty good in a fight. His main sins are adultery and sodomy. Yeah, not a pleasant fellow, but then nobody is really. Any objection to Simon playing cock?
No.
Okay. Might be an idea to change your display name to a new character. Not to, yeah, Solomon or Cock will do.
Where is the setting for that?
Oh man, I want.
I'm going to try and turn you up a bit, Kit. You're a bit quiet.
How's that sound?
So what about the rest of you? Any of these particularly take your fancy? I know the numbers and stuff won't mean that much to you, but 6 is high, 1 is low. Profile is your overall combat ability.
I just pulled them up, Grim, so I'm reading up through them really fast.
I kind of want to be Mr. Henry Shifty Irving.
Okay. So Shifty, he's not particularly good in a fight, but despite that, he's a murderer, an adulterer, and a sodomite. Quite an ambitious fellow, despite all that. So.
Mr. Absalom catches my eye.
Absalom's the ship's carpenter. Yeah, very, very ambitious, very bitter, very cynical, and very much bound up with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, it seems like it.
With his bargains. So, who does that leave? That leaves Alexander for Kit to play, I think.
Yep, that's fine.
Old Leechy, who is really good in a fight. Perhaps that's a result of being a surgeon, because he's the ship's surgeon.
Is that who I owe my life to?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Check your sheet. He's a blasphemer, a mutineer, a rapist, and a compulsive thief. So it's good that he's good at surgery, because otherwise people probably wouldn't want him around. Okay, let's quickly go over the characters and make these numbers mean something to you. Okay. So, brinkmanship is the other half of your sort of fighting capability. It's your will to kill, if you will. So that combines with profile when it gets to combat, and if it comes to combat, which it will, because it always does in this game. And the way you roll is you take a certain number of dice. It'll be determined by the circumstance. You roll them. 1 to 3 is a failure. 4 to 6 is a success. You get chances to re-roll the dice that failed, and you're trying to get as many successes as possible. Most of the time, your statistics are in tension with each other. So, your devil, it's kind of your devil may care attitude. Your more evil side, your soul is your more positive side, strength of personality. Your brutality is how violent you are. Your ambition is your will to succeed and overcome the odds and all of that kind of thing. Profile is, it's like combat readiness. So if you take up additional weapons, your profile can go higher. If you want to fight just with fists or whatever, then your profile will go lower. Sins are the things that you tend to indulge in, the things that have got you where you are, pretty much. Sufferings are things you suffered at the hands of Captain Brimstone. So everyone's had a traumatic past where the horrible things have been done to them. Ambitions, you should use these as a guide to what your character wants, what you have to go for. Some of those things will have an emphasis, which means you kind of have to do them if you have the opportunity. Profiles listed again, but this time with the weapons or traits that you might have that might make you better or worse in a fight. Bargains are links you have to other characters. You make bargains and then you can call them in, so someone has to do whatever it is that they owe you, or you can cancel the bargain by denying them dice in a roll, making things more difficult for them. So there is a certain amount of intra-party conflict, I guess, which you may not be used to compared to other games. At the end of your character sheet are X's. Those are the amount of X's you start with. You spend X's for extra dice on your rolls and things like that, and to spare you from harm and so on. It's better to spend them than to hold on to them because they disappear at the end of a fight. I'm sure we'll figure things out as we go along, and that includes me. So, right, let me just check a few things and promo the stream a little. Got a couple of people watching. No, it's not Whitechester, and I won't be paying too much attention to the chat because I'll be concentrating on the game. It's Poisoned, an old game from 2008 by Vincent Baker, who you may know for his other more famous games. But glad to have you here. Right. And
YouTube. I've added everyone now on the Discord.
Alright, I'm just sharing and then we can start. So I've left the characters fairly open, but you can get a handle on them from their ambitions and so forth. That's one more place to promo to, and then we'll get started. Yeah, and people watching, please do subscribe. This is not my regular channel, it's my streaming channel. If I stream on my regular channel, it screws up acquiring followers and stuff for ages and the visibility of the channel. So it would be better if you subscribed here as well. Right. Well, let us set the scene. Okay. Your ship that you've been serving aboard is called the Dagger, and you've been serving under Captain Brimstone Jack, who is possibly one of the worst bastards who ever sailed the seven seas. He's run the crew with a sort of dictatorial brutality, in contrast to the way a lot of other pirate crews are run, which is often quite democratic, even anarchistic. But not Brimstone Jack. He has been an absolute holy terror to work for, but he's also brought in a lot of loot. For things haven't been going quite so well recently. Your ship's a bit damaged. You know, the dagger's listing a bit and is having to be constantly bailed out. You're on your way to New Providence, but there's still a ways to go. Maybe a day's sailing with the ship in the state that it's in. Brimstone Jack's had you all working double shifts, keeping the water out of the hold, patching repairs as and where you can, stitching the holes in the sails. And that last battle you got in, you didn't manage to take the merchantman. You've just bad luck that the ship got so horribly damaged. So you're all at your duty posts when a great hubbub goes up from the top deck. You can hear all kinds of hooting and shouting and cursing going on. What do you want to do?
You should go check it out.
What the
Yeah, I
hell was
want
that?
to peek at it.
Okay. So some of you rush up, some of you take a peek. The rest of the crew is gathered round in a circle on the deck, and you can't really see through them to see what's going on, but you're pretty sure someone's being beaten. You can see a body being thrown around from one side of the circle of pirates to the other. And there are cries of hang him and drown him and shoot him.
Well,
Do I
that's
recognize any of the voices screaming in pain?
No, you don't recognise the pained voices. Of course, you know the crew pretty well. You've been serving together some time. Seems like everyone. I mean, every crew has its little factions, but everyone seems united in being angry.
Well, can I go give him a kick as well?
Yeah. So you push your way up to the front of the crowd, and Tom Reed, the ship's cook, is the one being beaten and battered around. But Captain Jack is on the deck, on his back, with his hands clutched at his throat, his skin a greenish pallor, and bloodied foam upon his lips. He stares emptily into the sky.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Is anyone around the captain right now? Like, does anyone care? Him?
The circle that Tom Reed is being thrown about in also encircles the captain's body.
Can I
I
put
want
my
to shove
ear?
in closer. What's
Okay.
going on?
Can I get my ear to the captain's mouth as though to listen to his last words?
You can. You lean down and hold your ear near his mouth. You can hear the bubbles popping from the bloodied froth upon his lips. There's a horrible smell, a chemical, unnatural smell coming off him.
Okay. I'm going to stay there long enough that a few people will at least notice me listening to his last words.
Yeah. Reed falls to his knees, not far away from you, coughing up blood and spitting teeth, the few teeth he had remaining. We need to figure out what to do with him.
I mean, he's suffering. Why don't we just stab him?
I'll vote
It's
for a
an idea.
shiving.
I reckon we should stab him somewhere that won't kill him and chuck him overboard for the sharks.
I like your thinking.
Solid plan.
Where's the senior crew? That would be you guys. So the crowd parts to allow you guys to approach and figure out what to do.
Well,
Reed
that
continues to...
captain.
What?
I've just heard the last words of the captain, and he says, "Cock, I want you to run the ship while I'm gone."
Well, I can believe he said he wanted cock, but you...
Ask him. See what he says.
Leechy, ain't he dead proper?
Well, he is now. That's
Is the
what
doc
last
gonna-
words mean, isn't it?
Is Doc going to take a look at the body or anything?
Just announce him dead.
Yeah, that's what I figured was going to happen.
Can you hear us, Kit?
I can change my name.
He's a mute.
He's mute, apparently.
What's your name?
Birch.
Captain cut out his tongue.
I want to go up to Captain Jack and kind of shake his body. Try to wake him up.
It's very loose and wobbly, so rigor mortis hasn't quite set in yet.
No life signs, huh?
The blood spittle kind of slides off the side of his face, but yeah, he's proper dead.
So is anyone going to question the captain's last words?
The rest of the crew, they're not really up for a fight about it. There's a muttering. They probably don't believe you. But if any of the other senior crew want to contest it, they can.
Captain Jack long told me I was next in line. It's confusing for him to apparently tell you the opposite.
Well, people do change their minds.
I mean, it seems like a big job. I don't really care who takes it. I just think we need to get rid of this body.
Let's say the
Well,
crew.
burial at sea. It's what he would have wanted.
I don't know. What do you do in this situation? Do you fight it out? Whoever wins the sword fight gets to be captain?
Well, you could have a vote, though that wouldn't be what Captain Jack would do. You could fight it out.
Well, that sounds like mutiny to me.
Mutiny. There's no captain.
I was just made captain. He told me himself. His last words, his dying words it was.
Well, what are we gonna do if you're captain then? What's your first thing of duty then?
Well, firstly, we need to bury the old captain and chuck Tom overboard.
Chuck them both overboard.
Yeah, I was gonna say chuck him overboard.
Let's get Tom nice and bloody first, though. You got a dagger? Shifty?
I do. Sea
Okay.
burial is a good burial.
One sec. Kit is going to try and get sound and stuff working
We
again.
need our surgeon.
Yeah.
I say we just save the rope and tie them both together. Chuck them both overboard.
Is your microphone switched off? I hear something.
How's that?
Yes. Okay. Was
I can't hear you.
you can't hear me? Okay. Well, not helpful. Can you hear us now?
Carry on. I will be back.
Okay. All right.
Boldly.
The surgeon's drunk. All right, so that leaves you guys. So, are you gonna challenge Captain Cock or
Yeah, I'm gonna
worst
challenge
superhero
Captain
name
Cock. I
ever?
won't stand for the possibility of him becoming captain.
All right. So, how do you two want to settle this? Says one of the swarthy sailors.
I'm gonna draw out my sword. And first blood sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
All right. The circle of pirates moves back to make room. Okay.
Yeah, let there be blood.
This is quite helpful because that means we get to try out combat and see if we can understand it. All right.
Yeah, you can't just let me achieve my first ambition in the first place.
I know. I'm like, that's not my ambition.
Not
so
with what you've
whatever.
done to my character.
Okay. So, since you're not using pistols, what's the profile of each of your characters? The
2.
numerical one.
2.
So both
I think
2?
we both have 2.
Yeah. So nobody gets extra X's, but you do still have your starting X's.
Oh, Cox got me up on that.
Okay. Take up a number of dice equal to your brinkmanship. Okay.
Hold the box.
All right.
And roll them. Don't pick up the ones that fail, but any that are 4, 5, or 6, move to one side. Those count as successes, and say how many you've got.
I've got 3.
3.
Okay, so it's a tie. Each of you take your lowest roll and re-roll it.
1.
No, you have 2 ones. So just one.
A 6.
5.
So that's successes again. So you're still tied. So take your lowest roll and roll again.
Yeah, another 6. I'm going to
2.
put my camera on that because
2.
that's
Okay.
unrealistic dice rolling.
All right. So you just get the edge. So you're currently winning. Right. So you were fighting to first blood. At least that was the idea. So you can either accept defeat or you can escalate the fight. Because at the moment, he's going to cut you slightly. And you won't have hurt him. So you can escalate, but that might make it deadly. Or you could admit defeat. Or you can spend X's for extra dice to try and equal what he got.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to stand down for now and stand by my word at the moment for first blood. I'll
Okay.
accept it for now, but I'm going to have a bit of a cunning in my eye.
All right, so you draw your cutlasses and have at each other in the circle of pirates, clashing the blades, getting into clinches, moving back and forth. Pretty evenly matched. It goes on for quite some time, and then you just manage to cut him slightly. A nick across the cheek or something from a wild overhead blow that barely connected, but it's enough. First blood is drawn, and Cock is confirmed as, at least temporarily, the captain.
Well done.
You're a worthy opponent.
What happens when you fulfill an ambition?
Just like Captain Cock. That's a fun.
It sounds like the worst superhero name ever.
There's
what
definitely
happens?
Captain Cock somewhere.
I know you've read it as well, Simon. Can you remember anything about fulfilling ambitions?
I don't recall. I'm close to the rules.
Yeah, I feel like you'd get some bonus for becoming captain.
How do you get more X's?
Oh, that's the point. So, Doom, you lose all your X's,
All right.
and Simon, you now have 1 X because you won the fight.
Oh.
That
makes
one
Aha.
in place of
Stronger.
the 3 that I had originally, or in addition.
Instead of what you had originally.
Okay.
That's right. They go away.
Okay.
They go away. Right. When you fulfill an ambition, cross it out or whatever. You may, if you choose, add a new ambition, and if you do, add 1 to your ambition score with no maximum bound. So if I don't think you have edit rights, but I do. So
I've got my character sheet copied into a notepad.
okay. So yeah. Yeah, so you lose the ambition, I want to be captain. And then if you want to add a new ambition, you can, and that will raise your ambition score to 5.
Ambitions are rolled for, aren't they?
No, I just did that so I could randomize characters. You can choose an ambition. Or roll if you prefer.
Well, given that that me and Birch have just had a bit of a
Barney.
tussle, I want to fuck Birch.
Okay.
Does that count as leisure?
It can do.
Oh gosh. So when it says I want to get revenge on somebody, it's another player. How does that play out? What is revenge?
It's up to you what kind of thing you want for revenge.
Okay.
So let me have a look.
Sodomized again.
Yeah, so revenge could be an eye for an eye, or so probably in that instance something humiliating, or
Okay. Yeah, because I assume it's not going to be like I'm not going to kill Solomon in that regard, but maybe
No.
if it was an NPC, that might be.
yeah. I mean, it can get that bad because
Yeah,
you're meant to play horrible bastards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
Now, that's
I think as my
okay.
first captain, I'd like to make Birch my first mate.
Okay. Kit, can you speak? We'll see
Hello.
if we can hear you.
Can
Yes.
I be heard? Hurrah!
Yes.
Good, and I can hear you.
Excellent. Whatever that was, it fixed it. So while you were mute, is there anything you wanted to say about what was going on, or anything you wanted to do?
I'm just I was just wondering whether we can find anybody to replace Reed. I mean, he's the only one who knew how to cook worth a damn on this ship.
That's a great point.
Oh, before
Yeah.
we throw Reed overboard, we could cook Reed.
We've still got food, Captain Cock. The stores are still there. So Reed sort of pulls himself up on one arm and coughs up some more blood. Yeah, none of you fuckers can cook worth a damn.
But can
Who's gonna make you plum pudding out here if it's not me?
Do we want to eat
Poisonous
what he's
evil.
cooking, given what it done to the catman over there?
That was on purpose. You know he was a bastard as well as I do. He had to be got rid of.
We're all bastards.
He was a super bastard.
Can we teach somebody to cook? Can you teach somebody and then
Yeah, I'll teach someone and then you can kill me. That sounds like a great
I
plan.
didn't say it out loud. You don't know what I was thinking.
Your lips move when you think hard.
Does anyone else here know how to cook? The
All the
silence.
pirates sort of shuffle and look at their feet.
Fuck's sake. Right. Keep him alive then, I guess.
But he killed the captain. There's got to be justice.
Poison the captain.
You'll have
Give him a kick in the nuts.
Take one of his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't need them for cooking.
No, he doesn't need a foot for cooking.
Wait, how's he going to stand to cook if he got no feet?
Well-
Just cut a piece of a chair off and we'll just shove it in there.
How many,
I-
How many hands do you need to cook?
I do know a certain organ that any young man would hate to lose.
His most important one? I mean, I guess if cock demands his cock, right?
Oh, I thought you meant his liver.
Oh, I was thinking
How about you just leave me alone and we all acknowledge that the captain was a bastard. We throw his body over the side for the fish. I go back to cooking and I don't take the captain's next raid with me that he said before he died. We could all be friends again, only without that tyrant.
How about we meet in the middle? Everyone you kill, we take a finger.
Starting now?
Starting now.
So anyone else I kill?
No, starting now, we take this finger, and I'll grab his index finger on his left hand.
More, the crew isn't entirely sure, but you can try and win them over. So let's see. That would be.
I'm incentivise not killing half the crew.
It would.
One or two people, you wouldn't miss those fingers, but
Yeah.
once you kill about 5 people, you get a hand that's a stump.
I do feel precedent of punishment needs to be asserted.
Yeah, you can't just have people killing captains left and right.
Yeah, killing the captain is a major.
But he also serves our food, so we must be careful on that. Who knows what he can feed us?
I say we just take the next ship's next ship's cook. I don't trust
We
this
definitely
guy.
need to be on the
Okay.
lookout for new cook.
Yeah.
Roll your ambition, Captain Cock.
I've got 3 successes.
3 successes.
Oh, wait. So, 4 successes. I rolled 2
4
feedback.
successes. All right. So a lot of the crew, he was a bastard. The captain, he did do horrible things to us. He whipped me. He did unspeakable things to me. He took my share of the treasure. Blah blah blah. As you go sort of around the crew. But he was captain, and yeah. But you managed to win him over to the idea that a small punishment and keeping a cook is better than losing a cook just for the sake of it. So the mob grabs Tom, bends him over a barrel, holds out his arm. Are you going to do the deed, Captain, or should we have the surgeon do it?
I was thinking I might bite it off, make it hurt.
Go on then.
I mean, he's a cook, so it's they're well spiced fingers, isn't he? I've always wondered what it tastes like.
Do you want
Like,
it
you don't
cooked
have to
then,
bite
Captain?
that hard, right? Like,
How hard is it to bite off someone's finger? I imagine it's probably not realistic.
I don't know. I always heard that it's just like the same as a carrot, but I don't know if somebody like just said that to me to fuck with me or not.
Right. That's fine.
Maybe it was a really tough carrot.
Chew on it a bit and give up and cut it off.
You won't have to roll. I don't. Well, no, you do, don't you? Brutality against a helpless foe.
We did that.
Dice. Yeah, brutality versus soul. So roll your brutality.
3 successes.
Was that 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So the captain bends over, poor Reed, grabs his wrist while the other pirates hold him down, and bites into his pinky finger. and choose and choose and choose. Well, Reed is like, oh fuck, it hurts, and blood drips down into your beard, and you just you can't quite get through the bone and tendon at the bottom.
Yeah.
You have to give up. Your teeth are hurting. You need more vitamin C.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to cut this off, lads. Someone else do the honours.
Well, Leechy's gonna have to make sure he doesn't lose too much blood.
Yeah. So
Exploding and, like,
you lean free, and he's like waving his hand around. There's blood flying off his little finger, which is out at like a right angle and just barely hanging on.
Oh, for Christ's sake, hold him down!
The crew piles on top of him again and holds him flat.
Take out what passes for a surgical implement.
That's probably an old cleaver or something.
Yeah,
Some rum.
that'll do. And chop it off.
There is a loud thonk, and you hack off his pinky finger. It goes rolling across the deck.
What are we doing with the finger, lads?
It's yours, Captain. Go on.
Seems only one proper punishment for a cook who's transgressed. Make him eat it himself.
just gonna say that.
All right. So you escort him to the kitchen. One of the swabs puts a pistol to his head and makes him cook his own finger in rum and butter with some spices. And then he's made to swallow it. He looks resentful, pained, but glad he's still alive. Once the finger stump is properly bound, he sets to work with his good hands, making food. Right. What about the captain's body? Just going to throw it overboard, or?
I think it needs to be thoroughly autopsied.
Autopsy in a leaky, damaged boat at sea.
Well,
That's
when
gonna be fun.
I say thoroughly autopsied, I mean taken to my quarters so I can rifle through all his possessions.
Well, it's the captain's pistol, which is a very nice one with some sort of filigree and decorations. The captain's dagger, the captain's sword, his dress coat. Because he was poisoned, most of his clothing's still intact. Nice boots. Too small for you.
So being a compulsive thief, it's no fun to take something and have everybody know that you've just kind of seized it. I want to sort of just take something like a ring, something small, trivial, that nobody knows I've got.
He's got some gold teeth.
That'll do.
Yeah, wrench those out with some pliers. And you find a small key in his pocket, separate from his main keys for the ship as a whole, which the captain will probably want.
Does he? In my time I've spent with him, have I ever seen him shadily having a lockbox, something like that?
He mostly didn't let people into the captain's cabin unless he was going to be intimate with them. I don't think you ever had that honour.
No. Well, in that case, I will take all of his accoutrements of office and hand them over to Captain Reese.
Well, Captain Cox, sure.
It's one slightly irritating trait of Leachy that he refuses to use anybody's surname. They're all Mr. So-and-so by their proper name.
Well, would you like the honour of seeing the captain's quarters?
By all means.
I'll give you a wink.
Okay. The captain's quarters are just as he left them. A rumpled cot bed, a small bookcase with chains across it to keep the books from falling out. His private dining table and chair nailed to the deck to stop them sliding around. His own private charts and so on. A couple of sea chests and a smaller lockbox wedged between the two chests.
Well, we'll have to have a look in this lockbox, won't we?
Checking over your ring of keys for the ship, you don't find the key to that particular lockbox.
Does it look like it could be smashed open?
By dint of great effort, yes.
Give it a try.
If the implication is I still have the small key about my person, while
Yes.
while the captain is inspecting the box, I'll just sort of step out of his eye line and put the key on a table or some sort of surface somewhere.
Without being seen.
That's the
Okay.
attempt.
Yes. So let's see.
Ambition.
Okay. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So roll your ambition.
2 successes, a 5 and a 6.
Okay. Yeah. You managed to surreptitiously place the key on the side table.
And just as the captain is about to, looks like he's about to commit murder on this particular box. Captain, perhaps this.
Ah, good one, Leechy.
Hand it over with an unctuous smile.
Good word. Right. The small key does indeed appear to fit the box.
So what's in the box?
Unlocking it, you find odds and ends of plunder from various ships that you have taken over the last year or so. And it seems the captain has managed to piece together some sort of regular shipping route. And according to his notes and his mini logbook that's in here, 2 fat merchant ships should be relatively unprotected on their way to Rock Fort. The Morriston and the Mariette, ripe for plunder. Got a few weeks, but he's fairly certain roughly where they'll be at that time, if the schedule remains the same.
Given the state of the ship, do we think we could get there?
If you can make port in time and make the repairs you need in time, then you should be able to get to them.
Well, I'll let Leechy announce to the crew what we found. Since he was so good to find the key for this. I think the crew's going to need some good news.
So listen up, my boys. Listen up. Wait for order if it's necessary.
If it's possible, is more the case for this crew.
Yeah.
So, Birch and Shifty at the fore with the rest of the crew behind them. Those who aren't busy at their tasks.
In which case, go up to the... I have no naval terminology whatsoever, but the raised bit at the back where the steering wheel is.
So the forecastle is the front raised bit, so stern castle? I don't know.
Castle.
The stern.
That would make sense,
Yeah.
yeah. Go up onto that, and if there isn't general quiet after a moment or two... Shut up, you fuckers!
What is it, Leechy?
Now, you gentlemen might be thinking that the death of a captain at sea is an ill omen. Bad job and all that. But it so happens that in this particular case, the death of the captain has allowed us to spy his plans. And Captain Reese here will have the honor of leading us into action against 2 ripe, plump merchantmen. What do you say, boys?
Sounds like a lot of work to pick this ship up.
Then Roger, the cabin boy, raises his smaller hand. Leechy,
Yes.
we're shot full of holes.
This is merely an opportunity, young man.
So are we going to fix up?
Of course, of course. I'm sure Master Hazel will be equal to the task.
Ugh. Patched up this ship a week ago.
Yeah, and then it got shot full of holes again.
I can do it.
Right. The navigator and steersman return to their positions, and sail is set, and you should arrive at New Providence within a day, perhaps 2, depending on the winds. So, is there anything you want to get up to in the interim?
I want to be keeping an eye on this chef. I'm going to be like randomly walking by. I don't trust him. I think he's going to murder us all. Just so definitely just like going down and making sure he's randomly watched.
Okay. So, can you make an ambition roll for me, please?
So you 5 dice then for that? Is it 5 ambition? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 success.
1 success.
That's enough.
Okay.
While watching him, you discover his little box of special ingredients and the bottle of poison that he was keeping in there, which is now half empty.
Grab that.
Yeah. So you can add that to your sheet. Bottle of poison.
Cool.
So that should preclude him poisoning anyone again, at least anytime soon.
Good.
What about the rest of you?
I want to delegate as much responsibility as possible over the next day. Because I just want the title of captain. I don't want the actual responsibility of it.
And the bed.
Yeah. Captain's quarters look nice, but having to actually run a ship is probably not for me.
So you're delegating everything to Birch, your first mate?
I'll just send anyone who asks, I'll just ask them what they would do. If anyone comes up to the captain with any questions and just go to bed.
It's getting a bit Galaxy Quest. Just no beryllium sphere. Alright. So if no one intercedes, the captain's body is going to be retrieved from Leechy and just tossed overboard.
I think that's a good plan.
No objections?
Can I have his hat?
Yes, you can have his hat. 'Tis a fine hat. There's a peacock feather sticking out of it. Sweet pimpin'. Alright. So, on the evening of the second day, winds have not been kind, and without a proper captain to keep order, the crew have been slacking off a little bit. But you make it to New Providence. In the Bahamas. So you bring the ship in close enough to shore that if it sinks, it's not going to sink too far. and you need to go ashore and get supplies, which might be tricky because the hold is pretty low on treasure. So you'll need a plan.
What do we need right now to repair the ship?
Wood, tar, nails, new sailcloth.
Perhaps we could barter some things. We could just get a bunch of trinkets from the captain.
Yeah, all that stuff's
Perhaps
really
there's
important.
some things of value that could be traded.
Or we could,
Steal it.
threaten somebody. That works too. Have any of us been where we are right now?
Yeah, you've been to New Providence before. You know the rough lay of the land, but it changes a lot. Lots of pirates coming in and out all the time. But it is a safe port for pirates.
Would anyone give us credit here?
Yeah,
You
you're
talk about it.
you're renowned as thieves, and you're on a boat. They'd totally give you credit.
Someone
My word.
Someone really, really dangerous might extend you a line of credit if they were sufficiently assured that you could pay it off with your expedition. But it would, it'd have to be very persuasive or an ironclad case.
I mean, if we can recruit a second ship for our mission, perhaps they could pay for our repairs in return for joining us on the expedition to acquire some more loot.
Yeah, if you could find someone you trust enough.
Then we'd have to share our plunder.
We would have to share it. Who knows how long the dead captain was tracking this? What if it's a big deal? I mean, it was a different key he had. I don't trust anybody though, so I don't know. More people sounds like a bad idea to me.
Well, what would you do in this situation?
I say we see how difficult it is to just get new sailcloth, nails, tar, and wood. We might be able to make that happen. I don't imagine that's the most expensive. You have to have something to trade.
Well, you don't want to trade powder or cannonballs or shot. Your food supplies are a bit low. You probably need to pick up some of that as well. The captain's clothing has been redistributed amongst the crew, but his pistol and sword, they're quite fancy, as is the hat. Whether that would get you enough? Probably not.
I don't think I could part with the hat.
It's important. It's a mark of rank.
Captain's hat.
Okay, so let's go find somebody to kill for this stuff. Who's going to have all of it at once?
Well, another ship of comparable size and complement would be the ones to go after for that.
Could we just get on another ship and sail it off?
I like that idea. We could just steal a ship. That sounds... Maybe it'll have a cook on it.
Fastest looking ship.
Well, it'd have to be a ship of roughly the same size and complement.
Tell him to run.
And we'd have to transfer
Everybody
the whole
run.
crew.
Charge.
So another sloop, that's going to be roughly the same size as yours, which means you could crew it. In fact, they're probably going to have more men than you, because the captain ran the Dagger on a pretty marginal crew. It would be very difficult to storm and take another ship.
If Cock kills the captain, do we automatically get the ship and the crew? Is there...
Yeah, I would imagine the crew would just accept.
Yeah, wouldn't they like?
But maybe that's pirate rules.
Like, yeah, weird pirate rule.
I think that's been
Common
enough
treasure.
enough captain killings. Well, it would depend on how bad the captain's reputation was, how good your currently non-existent reputation was, yeah, whether you could live up to the promises that you made. So, yeah.
Teaming up and sharing our treasure sounds like the easier option. Shit.
We'll just find out how expensive the stuff is and steal it. Well, it's stealing from
Yeah,
other
could we
pirates.
just find someone who looks like they've got a wallet full of gold and rob them?
Yeah, let's go to the pub and see if anybody looks like they have any money.
Okay. So you take the launch ashore, leaving most of the crew on board ship, which, you know, if you've got the idea of stealing people's ships, someone else might get that idea. Plus, you need to leave crew on board to keep bailing it out and making patched repairs until you can get the supplies. But they're not happy about being left on board when there's whores and rum and gambling and everything. Yeah, it's just there. It's right on shore.
Shore leave must be delayed.
We'll
But you
bring
take
from them.
You take a few people ashore with you for backup, and yeah, head into town. It's a raucous place. There's fist fights all over the place, gambling in the streets as well as in the buildings, drunk pirates wandering around everywhere, slumping and dragging against walls, laughter, music, pirate life. It's all here. The first pub you come across is the Old Skull. And by virtue of being closest to the main docks, it's the one that sees the most business from people who can't be bothered walking any further.
Anybody in there drunk and showing off?
This is where we're going to find a rich person.
I'm peeking in.
Like at least half the people in there are drunk and showing off. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of pirates in here, various crews. There's women dancing on the tables, whirling their skirts around. There's some pirates playing axe throwing with a chunk of wood hanging from the wall. Though they're drunk, you reckon someone's going to lose an ear before too long. The whole place reeks of rum. The ground is covered in palm leaves that have been broken up in place of straw. Yeah, it's a good place.
As a compulsive thief,
Yes.
I'm on the lookout for anybody who's actually trying to be discreet, like has taken their purse and rolled it so that it's inside their trousers rather than hanging off their belt. Anybody who looks like they could be carrying money and doesn't want anybody to know.
Well, you know, it's full of pirates who are thieves. Some of them are careless, but there's plenty of them that are a bit more careful with their coin. So yeah, some of them have their purses rolled up or in buckled satchels.
And what I'm really looking for is a mark, wealthily dressed, etc., etc.
Let's see. Okay, roll your ambition.
Okay. Precisely nil successes.
Okay. You do spot a gentleman who seems like a perfect mark, while the rest of you are sort of disseminating yourselves about the place, getting a feel for it, and looking for others. Leechy spots someone who is more cleanly dressed and is scribbling away frantically in a notebook while he talks to some old salt who's spinning him a yarn about sea monsters or something. He's far too nicely dressed, and his clothing seems far more in style from what you've been able to gather. As a surgeon, you're a well-read person, so you've had letters and things from back home. So he seems to be dressed much more in the style of the time in more civilized lands. And he's got his pen, his quill, his notebook, and a couple of bags which look quite heavily laden. And he doesn't seem to be worried about money at all. He's plying this sot with plenty of drink, and it looks like he's been spreading the cash about.
Well, looks like we got ourselves a reader. And I will sort of tug on Captain Reese's shirt. There, Captain. There's an innocent if ever I saw one. And
I think
I
we
will
need
walk
go and
over
look
to the,
around for them.
walking over to the table, clap this scribe on the shoulders, and say, "You don't want to listen to a word this man says."
No, good lord. I don't. He's quite knowledgeable.
No. Oh, no. What you want to talk to is a real pirate. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, step this way, sir. Step this way. Let me introduce you to a real pirate.
Okay. He gets up a little nervously and says, "We can finish our talk later, old Jim," and then comes with you.
And I'll lead him back to our table, plonk him down. You have the honor of introducing Captain Reese, scourge of the Bahamian seas.
Captain
Cock.
Reese. Is it spelt Reese and pronounced cock, or?
It's spelt cock. It's pronounced cock.
Okay. Like the male chicken.
Yes.
No disparagement to your bravery, good sir. I see. I've been making extensive notes, and I from things people have told me, I don't think I've heard your name bandied about.
Because people don't bandy his name about, sir.
Oh, is it like a curse?
You can think of me as he who shall not be named.
Right. Okay.
You might want to scribble that out if you've been writing my name.
In case it brings the devil's eye upon me. Yes, quite. So, what can you tell me about a pirate's life? People back in London really want to know.
Are you some sort of journalist?
Can I smell him? I want to smell him.
He
Sniff.
doesn't stink, which is weird.
Yeah.
I'll
Why
tell
don't you
tell
smell?
what-
Because I bathe.
I'll tell you what, laddie. We can show you a pirate's life.
Show me. You would allow me on board your ship?
Well, there'll be a charge, of course.
Oh, of course. That'd be a trifle.
I understand you'll be doing this for business. I'm sure you can have some money as a business expense.
I have access to a certain amount of funds.
How much is the ship's repair likely to cost? Would I know as the quartermaster?
Yeah, you'd have a good idea. And you got Birch with you, who'd know. But I personally have no idea out of character. So, but about twice as much as it's reasonable to charge him to go along with you.
We'll charge him that much.
The full amount or the half?
No, the full amount.
The full amount.
I'm not a reasonable person.
It's a bit taken aback. Can you guarantee adventure and treasure and?
Oh, I can guarantee you adventure and treasure, but you'll have to pull your weight while you're on the ship.
And how could I do that? My craft is words, and thought.
Can you cook?
Oh, I dabble.
Oh,
The
We have need of cook.
do you need a cook?
last one met.
Are you? Oh, you've frozen up, Simon. Oh, there we go.
I'll let you wear my hat for a little bit.
That's going a bit crappy.
So, I dabble. I'm sort of a cook.
Well, we're in need of a new ship cook. The old one's about to meet a tragic accident.
About to? How do you know?
Because I'm the accident.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, provided you're not asking me to do any particular hard labour or anything, certainly I'm glad to pull my weight to an extent.
Well, we'll just need you to cook for the ship's crew. And when you're not cooking, you can go about your normal business of scribbling down words.
In exchange for which, you'll take me along with you and protect me from harm?
Well, in exchange for that, you get the share of the treasure. But in order to come on the ship, you've got to pay up front.
And which is your ship?
It's the Dagger. It's in need of a bit of repair after our last fight.
I see. So it'll be a little while before we set off.
It'll be a couple of days. You'll have some time to go and scribble down some more notes from the people here.
And to collect my things from the lodging house. Very well. A deal is struck. He holds out his hand to shake on it. Right. You have made a bargain with the journalist. So
Okay, now I need to go and stab the ship's cook. Does anyone else want to stab the ship's cook?
Oh, I rather thought we would just entice this gull aboard, having got all of his everything from his lodging house, and then we just murder him and take all his stuff.
Well, I assume that was the plan.
No, he knows that.
Perhaps he could be a continual revenue source,
I
Cook, and he
mean,
hasn't pointed anyone.
and we could have a new cook.
he might be an actually okay cook. We don't know yet. We at least have to try what he can make.
But why is he here? He's just learning on
He's
pirates.
scribbling about pirates and he doesn't smell.
Quite a fancy lad.
It's very odd. We need to make him smell.
I just wonder if we're
He'll
going to
smell by the time we're done with
unforeseen
him.
baggage by bringing him on our ship. Seems too good to be true.
Nobody
Rather
cares
convenient.
about him.
You sure?
The pirates.
He smells good.
Yeah.
Where's
He
that
hands you a
on the
large
side?
purse of monies.
Where do you bathe on this
That is a
island?
noticeable thing, not smelling.
Well, if you've got the money to pay for it and you actually want to, you can pay for a hot bath at one of the lodging houses or
Okay.
inns. Or just take a dip in the ocean.
I think he's just about to become a pirate and has no idea.
I think a probationary period should be in order. I don't think he should be given complete freedom of our ship.
Well, he definitely doesn't get a dagger or a knife. He doesn't get to defend himself. Yeah, no.
But
All right.
the type that could be much.
Well, you have the money.
Oh, as Grim, as the carpenter, if I'm in kind of charge of knowing how much the repairs are, I would like to say it's a little bit more than it's actually going to be, so that I can kind of skim some of the money.
Trouser the rest of it. Yeah.
Not much, but just few coins.
Pirate life.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the leisure rules here, but they don't really apply because we haven't done any plunder.
I was just going to follow some drunk person out and kill him and hope they had money on him. So this works much better.
Yeah, it's
Like,
much different.
it was like I could kill somebody drunk, but then it's like they might have spent all their coin to drink.
I was almost expecting a bar fight.
Well, you'll have to wait till the morning to pay for the materials. So is there anything else you want to do while you're ashore?
I'd like to ensure that this callow young man is out of his lodgings and on board our ship before the night falls. I don't want him getting associated with anybody else.
All right, yeah, you can follow him back to his lodgings. Are you openly following him, or are you sneakily following him?
No, I'm actively suggesting I will help him carry his luggage to the ship.
He agrees. And good to have an escort. It's a rough town, you know.
So they say. So they say. No, let me carry that. Let me carry that.
Yeah, he has a lot of luggage. It's going to be a bit of an inconvenience having him aboard. You better hope he wasn't boasting about his cookery skills.
Oh, he can share the cabin's quarters. There's only one bed, though.
Soft journalist hands.
He looks very soft.
and once all of his gear is safely stowed aboard our vessel, as is he, I will effect to show him my quarters, and there I will murder him.
Okay, so no new cook after all. Okay, by surprise, I take it?
Oh, yes. Sort of Goodfellas chisel in the back of the skull sort of thing.
Okay. Right. So, that's brutality roll.
All right. Let's have a look. Brutality is 3. Okay. 22. 2 successes.
2 successes. Right. And so your soul is 3, but the devil takes care of his own, so it's 1 less dice. 2 successes. You got
2.
Okay, so at the moment it's a draw. You try to take him by surprise, but he is wary. So you can either take a defeat, escalate, which makes it even deadlier, so that might threaten you a little, or spend X's to reroll, to roll extra dice. Sorry.
So it's 1x for the act
For
of
1
picking
dice.
up dice. For 1 dice.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's a bit like Call of Cthulhu. Don't die with luck. There's no point getting involved in a fight and ending any X's, so I'll spend all 3 that I have.
Right. So roll 3 additional dice.
Okay, additional dice is 2 more successes, so 4 in total.
So that's 4 in total. He doesn't have any X's. He can't escalate because that's his full amount. So yeah, you drive your heavy chopping blade into the back of his head. He makes a strangled ow noise and then falls forward with the blade still sticking out of his skull.
I thought he'd never shut up.
Can we afford a keg of rum?
Yes.
Can we get one for the ship's crew?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Got to keep them happy and drunk.
So the body?
Strip it.
Oh, is that
Have we got a salt store?
You do have a salt store, and he is almost exact your size.
Oh, that's very nice. Probably a bit bloody, but you know, it's always nice to have a new shirt.
Well, he'll have other clothes in his trunk, and, so on, and those should fit you.
I was thinking we'd probably try and sell them to recoup the cost of repairs. So yes, assuming we don't want him floating back on the tide, we'll salt him for now.
Okay. So you shove him in with the barrels of salt and give him a good sprinkling to stop him going off quite so quickly. And then, yes, you can pick out the fancier things and sell them off to one of the street vendors on shore for some extra coin.
He probably has such like fancy velvet and like expensive fabrics in there.
Silk handkerchiefs and yeah,
Yeah.
kinds of things that are hard to get out here, so therefore
Socks
worth
with
quite
no
a lot.
holes.
Well, gentlemen would wear stockings at this point.
Yeah, we probably have some fancy shoes.
Yeah, I have way fancy shoes then.
Fancy shoes with buckles and bows on them, and shit like that.
And if they were married, they'd wear dull-coloured stockings. But if they were unmarried, they wear bright-coloured ones to advertise their marital status.
That's neat.
Huh.
Whereas pirates all dress like shit.
So flamboyant.
Right. So yeah, murder, theft, and that's your shore leave. What about the rest of you? Scoring some rum for the crew. That's not an issue. Anything else?
Does it look like anybody is really, really drunk and stumbling out by themselves?
Just about everybody.
Just about everybody. All right, I'm gonna dispatch from everybody. I'm gonna go be creep in the shadows in like the corner back, so I can still see people stumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see anybody around my size or smaller, I would like to grab them and stab them and rob them.
Okay.
See how that goes. It works for my character a little. I hope. Hope they don't have to use the pistol because that's loud. It's like...
Wow, it's a loud town.
I guess Pirate City would be like chaotic.
No, I
Loud.
feel like everyone would have a deterrent, and that's all you're, still can carry.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Okay. So you trail after one of these drunk sailors as he finally leaves the inn and starts swaying his way down the road, and other pirates take different paths until you find him pretty much alone near the ruins of an old abandoned church.
Perfect. I'd like to sneak up behind him as best as I can and grab his mouth and stab him in the back of the neck, or side of the neck.
Okay.
I am getting coins so I can buy you a drink and bone you.
More drinks.
More drinks, yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, but Shifty isn't very impressive.
But he's shifty.
I gotta look a little impressive for you before I try to spoon you. You didn't win and get captain, like. So that doesn't-
Okay, roll your brutality.
Okay. Oh gosh, that one's 2. All right. Oh, a 5 and a 6. Well, that's a
Okay,
little
so 2 successes for you.
bit- oh, gosh, that's a person.
So your soul is quite high. 5. -1. It's 2 successes. So currently that's even.
Can I spend one of my X's then to roll?
Do you
a
have
die?
any X's
I
left?
have 2 X's.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So you can spend 1 and roll an extra dice.
Oh, it's a 1. I'm gonna spend another one. That
Okay,
last X.
roll another extra dice.
Oh, 4. Okay, is that a success?
That's a success. Okay. So how are you taking him out?
Stabbing him in the side of the neck and grabbing his mouth and nose.
Okay. So yeah, he stops by one of the graves for a piss. And while he's otherwise engaged, you come up behind him, stab him in the neck, and drag him down into the shadows. foot twitches and the stream of piss slowly tapers away.
Cool. Does he have anything on him in his pockets or a little pouch?
Oh, it's the end of his night's drinking, so he has a very small number of coins, a box of snuff, his pistol, his dagger.
Okay. I will take those. Are his clothes any good, or are they just like regular pirate
They're
wear?
covered in blood and piss.
I don't want that yet. All right.
And his boots are way too big for you.
I'll take his hat. Whatever it is. All right, that works. I'm gonna go back
Very
to the pub. Wait,
Right.
old school. School.
The old
All right, Shifty's been away for a while. It comes back as you finish the negotiations for the rum and the food supplies from the inn.
I'm gonna use my coins. I want to buy everybody drinks. All of us sitting here.
Yay.
It's a good thing grog is so cheap because you don't have that much money. Yeah, you buy a round of drinks for everyone, and the remaining drinkers who aren't unconscious already let up a ragged cheer as the drinks are poured.
Sitting next to you. So, how long you been fixing ships?
Long enough. What do you care?
Just curious, just curious. Did good work last week that I saw. Been watching you.
Pretty good with wood.
Yeah? I got some wood I could show you.
I don't know. Am I interested in that?
I wink at you. It's one of my ambitions.
Yeah. It's one of the-
Yeah, I need to get back some X's.
What have you been hearing around the ship? Has Cock told you things?
My cock tells me things. What's that?
I heard you're thorough. You're very thorough.
I can be. What do I get out of it?
I'm good with wood too when I need to be.
What are you feeling? Is Cock here with us?
Yeah.
I thought I was getting the rum back to the ship.
Oh, you can be if you want. Yeah, you can be off rolling the barrel down the street.
Make sure that my crew are satisfied that they're getting nicely drunk.
Then yeah, I want to kind of conspire against Cock with you a little bit. How do you feel about this Cock?
I mean, I'm trying to get your cock, but I didn't think the captain was going to die. I didn't realize it was all going to go that way. Cock isn't really leading anybody too well, so I guess we'll see how this mission goes. Treasure hunt. Killing more people.
My butthole might be able to persuade some minds.
Yeah?
Is that what you're after?
Okay. I might be able to side with you a little if I get to test that out. Down another shot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep drinking grog after this conversation. The things I do for ambition.
Sweet.
So you're striking a deal. Buggery in exchange for support against the captain.
Yeah, I think when the time comes, you'll.
Okay.
Okay.
See you tonight in my quarters.
Okay. So you're not staying ashore then. So you return to the ship with the rum. Birch and Shifty sidle off.
I just like,
For
when do we
Shifty to-
notice that that like soft guy's dead?
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, yeah.
When there's no breakfast.
Yeah, that's the point. You were going to kill the cook.
Yeah, good thing one of us didn't go murder the cook right now.
Well, you don't know the fate of the journalist yet.
Oh, I was
So
going
it's-
to look for the cook.
Yeah, so once you take the rum on board and dole it out to the crew, are you
Time
planning to
kill
go
the
and
cook. Yeah. Yep.
all right? You go marching into the kitchen. He's making good use of some of the supplies that have already been brought aboard. Making some new ship's biscuit. Captain, he grumbles.
Just wanted to have a chat with you. Have you got anything on the go at the moment? What are you cooking here?
I'm making some more biscuit, sir. Stuff that will keep.
Biscuit. You planning on making anything a bit more meaty?
Well, once the rest of the supplies come aboard, thought we'd get some fresh pork and mince it up a bit. Have it with some fresh bread from on shore for the crew.
Well, have we got some bread?
We will do tomorrow. Got some flour, but I haven't had time to cook it yet.
I see. Well, could you show me how to cook bread?
Well, it's an art more than a science.
Yeah. I just want to watch you cook the bread. I'm not expecting to learn very quickly. Don't worry. I'm not about to learn how to cook in a couple of hours and then kill you, because that would be stupid.
It would. Yeah, it's a bit difficult for me to knead with a missing finger, Captain.
Well,
but,
I can help with that.
Right.
You tell me what to do, and then we'll cook the bread now.
Right. He clears the cooking table, spreads out some flour, and starts walking you through how to make bread.
Okay. So once we've cooked the bread, I assume we'll manage to cook bread. It's not
Yeah.
massively.
Whether it's
difficult.
good bread or not will depend, but
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I want to kill him and mince him, feed him to the crew.
well, before we cook it, sir, we've got to leave it to prove. So maybe this weather, probably by morning, be safe too. So you just pop it in the oven for however long, and there you go. Robert's your mother's brother.
Okay, so it's just a matter now of putting it in the oven, and it cooks. How long would you say it takes to cook?
He gives you a time. I'm not sure how long it would take on an old shipboard stove, but
Probably about half hour, I think. But yeah, well, that sounds good to me. And then I'm gonna wait until he's suitably happy that I'm not gonna stab him, and then
stab him.
cut him in the kidneys in the back.
Okay. There's a lot of stabbing people in the back going on. Right. Roll your brutality.
Fun part of daggers.
I had a duel.
2 successes.
Okay, so your soul is 6. We take away 1. And we have 3 successes. So at the moment, you're going to hesitate. You got any
I'm gonna
X's to
use
spend?
an X to get the additional.
Okay, roll an additional dice.
That's a success. So I've got 3 successes total.
Okay. He doesn't have any X's, so that's... Sorry, you got 3 total now, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's a draw, so take your lowest dice and re-roll it. He gets no success.
No, I've got not a success on that one.
Okay. So he reacts speedily enough to what you're trying to do to where it's now an actual fight. So he grabs up the rolling pin you were just using and threatens you with it. So count as a knife-to-knife fight. So what's your profile?
Profile is 2.
Profile's 2.
Our soul's all kind of high too, though, so I didn't factor that in.
We haven't really had much in the way of straight fights until now.
Yeah, they've all been kind of.
Okay, so he has an X that he can use because he's slightly better in a fight than you. Okay, so
Oh, this cook. He like just ate his own finger. He really just wants to
he's had
live.
he's had a tough time. Okay, so I get 7 dice. You get roll your brinkmanship.
I got 4 successes.
Actually, I got 4 dice, I think. This is a little confusing. Hang on. Trying to show the games as they actually are, so if it's confusing, it's confusing. Fights. Compare the profiles of both sides. We did that. His was higher. He gets an X. Okay, it's not sides, so it's not one group against another. It's individuals. So, yeah, it was brinkmanship roll. You've rolled your brinkmanship. Okay. So I roll his. So that's 2 successes. You got how many?
4.
Okay, we'll spend his X for his extra dice because he's going to die otherwise. So he gets a 6. So that's 3 successes. You got 4, right?
Yeah.
Right. So at the moment, it's only a scarring hit. So he has a chance of escalating. Because NPCs only get a chance. But he does not. So gain an X.
Okay.
So by the rules, all you can dish out to him so far is a scarring but not deadly wound. If you want to kill him, you need to escalate twice. So the thing is, he's not willing to press on, so either have him surrender and then have you kill him, or force a couple of rerolls. I think it makes more sense to have him surrender. So, yeah, you fight it out for a bit. He gets in a couple of blows with the rolling pin that sort of bruises you about the ribs, but he's still in a lot of pain, and he's just basically had enough. So he just drops the rolling pin to the ground and says, "Captain, mercy, please."
I've got no mercy. But, can I, like, I'm not sure how this works. Could I just gut him, or?
I mean, we already had the roll for you to kill him outright by attacking him from behind. That failed, which led to the fight. You fought. He's surrendered. I'm not going to make you roll again to push it. So, yeah, you can just finish him.
Okay, yeah, I'll remove his entrails because those bits don't generally get eaten.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You gut him. He makes horrible squealing noises and takes quite a long time to die, with his liver and his lights hanging out of his belly.
The kitchen's gonna stink.
Is there some kind of mincer in the kitchen? You mentioned mincing pork.
Probably, yeah, for making sausage and grinding other things.
That's how
It's
I'm
not
saying.
huge because it's a shipboard one. You have to cut them up into quite small chunks.
I'm assuming there's a cleaver somewhere in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Got to keep the crew fed, and spent all the money on grog, so we're not buying pork.
Okay. Add a sin to your character sheet. Cannibalism.
I didn't say I was eating it.
Well, it's just as bad, arguably worse, to feed human flesh to unsuspecting other people. see.
That's fantastic.
Okay, take one away from your soul and add one to your devil.
Oh,
For your wicked deed.
that's cool.
And that drops your brinkmanship to 5. But it makes your character a bit more even. Weirdly.
So eating the cook makes you less good in a fight.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're fighting for your life, your sort of your soul, your will, and so on is important, and you've sort of damaged your own vision of yourself by doing this.
It's not that I'm evil, it's just that I'm cheap.
That's how capitalism turns people evil. Right. All right, so you're going to be up all night cutting the cook into pieces and feeding him into the grind. And ending up with quite a pile of sausage meat.
My goodness.
The head and some of the bonier extremities you'll have to toss overboard.
Yeah.
Did you find the finger you fed him?
Well, that'll be in the guts you pulled out.
Yeah. Seems like a fun
Right.
trip.
So, the next morning, finds Lychee in new clothing. The captain looking very haggard and tired, but a mysteriously large portion of sausage meat is now in the ship's stocks. And Birch and Shifty in post-coital bliss.
Oh, yeah, that did happen. The hell?
Yeah. Not everybody drinks.
But is he as good with wood as he said?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This can work out.
Fishing.
Right. So, supplies can now be got as the supplying places are now open. You can gather your wood and your tar and your nails and your sailcloth and everything else you need with the journalist's money. So is there anything else you want to do while the ship is being repaired? Well, does that take a couple of days?
Because he's our new cook.
Yeah. He's not on board.
Yeah, where's breakfast? No,
Oh, breakfast.
Well, there's
is-
fresh bread.
this is bread, huh?
There's bread and there's pork.
Cook has it off first morning.
Yeah, is this did the writer prepare this? What is this bread?
Well, the cook met with an unfortunate accident, but he managed to show me how to cook this bread and quickly fry up some pork.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we've at least got breakfast for today. But don't worry, we've recruited a new cook already. We recruited him last night. And
Fancy lad.
he'll be with us before the next meal.
Good.
No.
Where did he sleep last night? He's so soft.
You're already thinking about other bodies?
Well, don't worry, Bert. You
Bloody
can
pirate.
share my cabin tonight.
Was it one of your ambitions to sleep with
We have
Birch?
their fun with
Yeah.
with the new
Shifty's
cook.
ambition was to sleep with me.
Yeah, it was one of Shifty's ambitions was to
Okay.
Yeah, one of my ambitions is also to sleep with Birch after the fight. So
Right. So,
say that.
Ghoul, do you want to take on a new ambition?
gosh, I guess, huh? Um, what does it mean I want to be well regulated by society? Does that
Well regarded by society, so you want to
Oh,
be accepted by polite society.
okay.
High reputation.
High reputation. Can I put fancy clothes on there then to obtain some
Yeah,
fancy
obtain some fancy
Riderman type
clothing.
clothes? I feel like my pirate didn't even know how fancy they could get.
Yeah, so that puts your ambition up to 6, which raises your brinkmanship to 6.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, having your way with Birch has increased your ability to fight.
Heck yeah. There we
Look
go.
at me just providing everybody with
With exactly what they need.
brinkmanship.
Okay. So the ship's repaired. You got rum in stock. You've got plenty of pork and bread, but no sign of the journalist. He hasn't turned up on the shore. He hasn't sent any messengers. There's no sign of him.
Yeah, where is that kid?
At a discreet board meeting, for want of a better word, of the ship's senior crew, rather than in front of everybody, I will throw the purse of cash that the journalist had on the table.
Thonk.
As for our guest, he's gone.
But you got all the coins, so
Who's gonna cook dinner? I'm not cooking
Where's
again.
our cooks?
Who might making that bread?
the cook.
Yes, where is Master Reed? Since we're holding inquiries into missing persons.
He had an accident. Like I said, he was gonna have an accident so that we could replace him with the new cook.
We're gonna be eating a lot of bread.
Yeah, good thing you learned to make bread.
I'm not cooking no more bread. I'm the captain. I just had to make sure everyone was fed this morning.
Well, it's a disaster. Need a ship's cook.
Well
I think
done.
we might have to go and recruit a cook.
And not kill them.
And yeah,
Yeah, I know.
We can agree not to kill this one.
See where
Well, Birch has to oversee the repairs, but the rest of you can try and recruit a cook. Any cunning plans as to how to do that?
back to square one now.
Back to square one.
How long for the repairs, Master Birch?
Say another day. At least.
So maybe we go find an eager young pirate who possibly cooks too?
I mean, we could just go into the nearest pub and ask if anyone can cook and wants to come aboard.
Good.
Well, we don't even need to ask if they want to come aboard. We can just find out if anyone cooks and drag them.
Grab them?
Ransack.
Grab them.
If it's good enough for His Majesty's Navy, it's good enough for us to impress
Yeah, I mean
somebody.
that's your call. Let's do it.
I mean, they might come willingly, but they don't have to.
They don't have to. They don't have to.
It is a pirate town too. I feel like that's something that happens often, right?
Yeah, press ganging.
What a quandary we're in.
Okay, well, I guess you work on the ship, and then all of us go attempt to find a cook. Should we try Old Skull again, or should we do a different pub?
Why don't we wait until we're ready to sail?
Oh, that's
Harder to keep a pressed man when we're ashore.
All right. So you wait most of the day until the ship is virtually repaired. So it's evening again when the inns and taverns and pubs are all open and full. So that gives you your maximum chance of finding someone. So, Captain, what's the scheme?
Well, I think we need to make it known that we're looking for a cook. Who's got the loudest voice here? Lychee, you did a good announcement earlier. Do you want to make an announcement in the taverns?
No. Why on earth would I wish to be publicly associated with stealing somebody from their livelihood and life? My suggestion, my humble suggestion, Captain, is that, like the King's men, we don't want to take anyone who'll be missed. Surely we should just find the worst cook on the island, who's just about employable,
Well,
who won't be missed.
We have to eat the food that they make. So.
That's true, but we also may well have to return here for water, provisions, repairs.
That's hopefully with more gold.
Well, maybe there's a young boy that's only been used for swabbing the decks and stuff that knows how to cook. Someone who won't be missed, but they know what they're doing in the kitchen. Is this just wishful thinking, do you think?
I have no idea. My suggestion, Captain, is we cast about. What's the name of that dreadful tavern on the south side of town? Appalling food. Always been dreadful.
Let's call it the Flounder.
Yeah.
You want to nick the cook from a tavern?
Yes.
That sounds good to me.
Old Dick Strawbridge will thank us for taking the idiot off his hands.
Yep, sounds good to me. Let's go get him.
Okay. So you make your way to the south side of town, and the Flounder run by Old Dick Strawberries. You don't want to know how he got that name. So there's a lot of drinking here, but not a lot of eating. People go elsewhere. But there is a smell of food about the place. It's a simple slop, at least, that some of the poorer sailors will help themselves to. Little more than peas pottage.
I say we just wait until they close up, or drink themselves into a stupor, whichever comes first, and just lift him on his way home.
Okay, so you wait and you drink, and it's not the most popular inn, but there's still people here. So you wait and you wait and you drink and you wait and you wait and you drink and you wait, and then finally the cook leaves. And the announcement that there will be no more food served is met with a huge cheer, and it seems like twice as many people come into the inn. Cook's an old fella with stringy grey-white hair, hobbling along on a crutch with a twisted club foot.
Well, I think we should at least ask him if he wants to come with us.
I'm beginning to have my doubts about you as a pirate.
Well, he might want a new job. We'll pay him.
Yarr! Give us your booty, please.
No, people who come willingly are going to be much more compliant than people who we kidnapped.
Well, we could say we have an amazing doctor who could maybe craft some kind of shoe, so maybe it'll be easier for him to walk, because hobbling on a ship is very difficult, anyways.
And a well-stocked kitchen. You've got loads of pork.
Well, while you're arguing, he's very slowly getting away.
Adventure.
Let's go grab him, and we'll have a chat as he's. We'll help him along the road. And I'll run up to him and kick his crutch out from under him and put my arm around him to help him walk. No, you seem to have dropped your crutch. Don't worry, I'll give you a hand.
Okay, 1 second. Right. You trying to sneakily knock his crutch out so it seems like you dropped it. Then you hold him
no,
up.
I want it to be very obvious that I kicked it out from
Oh, well, fine, in that case. Right, you just you come running up and punt his crutch out from under his arm. He's like, whoa! And then you grab him and catch him.
My friend, we've got some matters to discuss with you, my friends here and I.
So couldn't you just say hello? Why are you trying to knock me down in the street and all the
I'm not knocking you
shit
down.
and filth and puke
I'm
and
helping you walk along. You don't need that crutch. You got old cock here.
you what? Old cock. There's no need to be insulting. Just because there's a bit of snow on what's left of the roof doesn't mean my hull isn't shipshape.
That's Captain Cock to you. See,
Right. And you go by that willingly, do you?
What's my name?
What's my name? Oh,
Your name ain't Cock. You
No.
know why they call me Captain Cock?
because you're a dickhead?
That's exactly it.
I can believe it, kicking the crutch out from under an old man with half a leg.
Now, I've got need of a cook, and I hear you're the best cook in all of this town. And I've got a well-stocked kitchen on my ship, and you'll get an even share of the pay for doing the cooking.
Right. You've come to get me to be a cook on your ship.
I've heard great things about your pottage.
From who?
From, I don't know, some guy I met in a bar.
Larry the
Right.
drunk.
Larry the drunk. He said you
Well,
had the best.
and if he's called the drunk on an island full of pirates, then you know he's a real drinker. He's a proper drinker. Oh, yeah. Larry the drunk, I know him. They call me Cripple Rick.
Cripple Rick. Cripple Rick, what do you say? Would you like to come and cook up some dinner for us?
It would be an honour to cook for an esteemed captain such as yourself, Captain Cock, for a fair and even share of the treasure.
Then come with us, lad. We'll get you set up.
Can I have
And
my crutch
any
back?
rumours you heard about the previous cook, you ignore them.
What happened to him?
He met with a terrible accident.
Well, as long as I don't meet with any terrible accidents, I am at your service, Captain.
Well, don't try and kill the captain, and you'll be sure not to meet with a terrible accident.
Well, I assure you, sir, if you die from eating my food, it won't be on purpose.
Good. Let's get you to my ship, and I'll pick up his crutch and hand it. Well, I'll carry it, but help him get
Okay.
it.
I suggest we take a quick 10-minute break or so to use the facilities, grab a snack and another drink or whatever you need, and meet back up here in 10 minutes or so. Sound good?
Okay. All right.
All right. I will just pop you out. Okay, so we're back, or should be.
Yay.
Yep.
Oh, hang on, my sound's gone.
Found my
Okay,
pen.
now I should be able to hear you.
Cool.
Yay.
Let's just check the stream started up again properly. Yep, there we go. All right. So you got your new cook. You got your ship repaired.
Before you guys get back
And
to the ship, if I'm the only one of the 4 at the ship with the rest of the crew doing repairs, I
yeah,
just kind of want to talk to the crew and be like, we're doing all of this work and we only got fed bread today. Some captain,
and pork.
that weird tasting pork. Never had pork like that before.
Quite liked it. Of course, he ain't had nout but salt pork for such a long time. But yeah, he didn't. So sure, could have done with a break.
I agree.
I don't think I'm there with you right now.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to
Yeah. You're starting your
plant
little
some
discourse.
Seeds of mutiny.
Not yet. It's not quite time.
Well, he wanted the job. You tried for it. You didn't get it.
I backed off out of respect. I
You're
helped
first
my-
mate. That's pretty good.
Could be better. And let me tell you, Captain Cock is most definitely not an appropriate name.
It does inspire hilarity rather than terror.
Captain Smallcock is more like it.
You just
Don't
wanna
laugh. You said you didn't mind.
I've already seen it.
Have you?
Uh-huh.
I don't think my character has.
But rumor around the ship is that it's quite large and sizable, and it's not true.
You're just spreading rumors.
You would call yourself that if you were compensating for something.
So good.
It ain't his real name. His real name's Montgomery Huge Penis Esquire.
So how far away are we going? What is our destination, right? It's on that, whatever was in that box.
Yes,
Flying, of course.
it'll be a few days at sea.
Okay.
So let's see. Trying to ferment dissent. Let's see how well you do. Role playing aside.
That's fine.
Okay, roll your ambition.
It's 6 dice.
Alright. Assuming that Absalom is a crewmate, I owe him free leisure, which I presumably didn't give him, so I don't know if that will make a difference.
Well, that'd be Birch, but you need him to fix the
yeah.
ship.
And it's 4 and up is a success.
Yep.
I got 4 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty silver-tongued, as it turns out. So, yeah, in the conversation, you kind of feel out the crew, sow a few seeds. You think if push came to shove in a proper disaster, then you could probably
Just
count on some of them
happiness.
to switch sides. How many successes did you get again?
4.
Okay, so you gain 4 X's,
Okay.
Oh,
ready for
cool.
whenever the next fight comes along.
That will be handy.
Oh, I'm supposed to be in charge of the equipment and
It's
the
a
crew.
fine ship we're repairing, lads. Keep up the work.
Yes, sir. Right. So at the end of the repair period, you've got the dagger nicely fixed up. Not quite as good as new, but pretty good. Fresh timbers, properly sealed up against the water, so it's not taking on so much at all. You managed to replenish your supplies, plus you got plenty of pork and bread, and now thick, greasy, somehow flavourless pottage. Time to go and lay waste to those ships. Right, let's see.
Let's do it.
Okay, I just need to look up a couple of things. So.
I can cross out my cook might kill us all. He's dead.
I think he might. He's not a very good cook.
You have his poison.
I do have the poison. Half a bottle. But does that mean he used half a bottle on the previous captain? Because I feel like that's a lot of poison.
That is a lot of poison.
Like, he really wanted him dead.
Yeah, to make sure, but
And just think about what the food must have tasted like to be able to conceal the taste of half a bottle of poison.
that's interesting.
Threw in some rum. Like,
Wasn't curry invented to conceal the taste of like bad food and shit?
To an extent, yes. Cover the taste of bad meat, and a lot of spices have antiseptic properties as well. So. All right. So, powwow for the plan of attack in the captain's cabin. Sounds like a plan. All right. So you got the charts and logbooks and all the previous captain's information laid out. So yeah, so according to his records, there should be 2 lightly gunned merchantmen without their escort sailing for Rockfort. He's not sure what they'll carry, but it should be a decent amount of plunder.
2 lightly gunned. That doesn't sound that bad at all.
Easy pickings.
So the dagger is fast. You've got extra guns, but your ship's company is only about 50 men, all told, which is only a skeleton crew for this size of ship.
Do we think we need more men?
You don't think... Well, that would mean more shares, and you couldn't be sure of the quality. You wouldn't have time to shake them down and figure out whether they're any good in a fight. I mean, the guys you've got... They need a fire lit under them, but they do fight well when they do fight.
Okay.
So we
But
can
you-
outgun and outmaneuver them.
Yeah, but there are 2 of them. Just they won't have a proper fully armed escort with them.
But they're in a fleet, so they're together.
Do we have a cannonball? I feel like I'm in charge of equipment. I should know that.
Yes, you do have a bunch of guns. There's the... Right, you're a 2-masted Bermuda sloop with
That's 6. Profiles.
let's see, 4 8-pounder guns, and 16 4 and 6 pounder guns. You should be running with a company of 80, but you're running with a company of 50. So yeah, you're pretty fast, pretty brutal. You punch above your weight, but your weakness is your lack of sufficient crew.
Cool.
Maybe we could take some crew from the ships we're going to plunder.
Yeah. Give them a chance to choose to come over.
I trust the abilities of our crew.
And give them the option of surrender, and we may let some of them join us or die.
That's always been a viable tactic in the past.
But has it though? Has it though? Says Leech, looking at the recently patched several holes in our hull.
I rather liked our original cook. I liked his meats.
I always thought the old captain's techniques were somewhat wasteful. We can outgun any merchantman on the seas. We can probably outmaneuver most as well.
I do agree with that.
We give them a choice. Surrender. Turn over their vessels. Those who want to join us are free to do so. Those who don't, sail the other vessel away, once it's been liberated of its more precious cargo. And we take the other ship, and all that they both carry. No
And
fighting necessary.
And then we sink the one that they're on.
Well, that would be what you call an executive decision, Captain.
Well, we don't want them going and telling everyone who... Well, I suppose we do want them going and telling everyone who robbed them.
But
Everyone-
it could start at the tale of Captain Cock. There hasn't
Yeah,
been any tales of Captain Cock yet.
Captain Cock's infamy could increase. I like the sound of that.
Just not one keyboard.
Infamous Captain Cock.
Isn't the famous Cock a pub? I think it is. I have to look that up now.
What say you, Birch?
I think it's a solid plan.
Yes, the famous Cock Tavern. It's a place.
Is that really? That is
Yes.
Awesome.
Near Arsenal football ground in
I have no
London.
doubts in our crew when under pressure. I have faith in our lads.
Birch, I was wondering if we could perhaps have a quick private word once this meeting is over.
A private word with me?
A private word in my cabin.
Very well.
So, do you want to take them on the open seas, or do you want to take them near a land, shallow seas, deep seas?
Deep seas, right? I don't know.
Deep.
It rather depends on what you want to happen to the crew of the other ship, doesn't it? If you want them to have a fighting chance of survival, and let's say you want to be greedy and snatch both vessels, if you grab them near some land, some island, you can put all the crew probably in dinghies, and they've got a reasonable chance of survival. If you take them in the open water. If you take them in the open water, if you don't leave them a full vessel, they're probably dead. But that would be, as I say, an ecumenical matter.
Well, we do want them to spread the legend of Captain Cock and his crew.
Fine seaman.
My God, that's the first time that joke's been made. That's astonishing. We got this
I
far.
know. I feel like that's what I've been trying to think of for the past like 10 minutes. Of crew. Stupid.
Captain Cock and his crew of able seamen. So, do we have a decision then?
What would that be, like shallow waters? So kind of close to land-ish?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, shallow water is kind of close to land, but I think we should see how things go once we get there and be ready to change the plan if necessary.
Captain's choice.
Okay. So, Lychee and Birch, we're going to have a chinwag.
Were we?
No, I was going to have a quick chat with Birch.
I was saying,
okay.
I just assumed the captain was about to try and murder Birch before the plot came to fruition.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got mixed up there. Well, whoever was going to have a chat, have a chat.
Okay, so Birch, after our little ruckus the other day, I just wanted to check that everything was okay with you.
Aye, Captain.
Obviously, your feelings are important to me.
I appreciate that.
I'm not sure how to say this, but my feelings for you are also important to me. I was wondering if maybe your feelings for me might be similar in a way.
Birch can get a bunch of action if it sounds like it.
I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder, and I don't know what my response is gonna be. I've always been with you, Captain.
Well, I wonder if you will be with me. Well, be with me.
I've never considered it.
I give you the title of first mate. The mate part. Being
Is this going to be open to the crew?
well, I'll leave it up to you. But I've always wondered what it'd be like to. Well, normally I'm the one who does the sodomy, you see, and I've heard you have some experience in the matter yourself, and I've always wondered what it'd be like to, well, be the bossum.
Captaining's hard. You gotta be mounted sometimes.
Give me an intriguing offer, Captain. May I consider it?
I mean, now's as good a time as any. And I'll pull down my pantaloons and beckon him over.
Oh boy,
Well, you were plotting to fuck the captain.
I was. Captain.
We could maybe count it as some of that leisure that I owe you.
Indeed,
Permission to board.
I'll submit to that.
All right. Rum sodomy. We're just missing the lash.
It sounds quite pleasant, actually. This whole experience. I'm not.
I do like to keep my crew happy. And my crew likes sodomy.
Crew gets sodomy. All right. Well, we will draw a polite veil over circumstances.
Yeah.
This is all feeling a bit more our flag means death than I was intending.
Do we roll to like see how good it was, or do we get extras?
That's fine. It's a great show, by the way. You should watch it.
I understand that there's a mechanic for a flashback if you want to revisit this.
Yes, you can do that later. Right. So, a couple of days of romance on the high seas. The love boat.
Ambition fulfilled, I guess. Does that count as fucking Birch?
Yes.
Being fucked by Birch?
It's not quite how I expected it to go, but yes.
Yeah, I guess we could
Surpri-
have like revenge played. Maybe you let me wear the captain's hat.
Brinkmanship +1.
In private, you get to wear it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the bedroom, I'm captain.
I think it'll count as revenge if you break up with him brutally, I think.
That's fair.
Because it's not really revenge to sodomize him if he wants it. Right?
I mean, I was kind of tempted to like wait until there was a fight and then brutally sodomize him in front of the crew, but it might
It's
be
one way to get a reputation.
it'd be nicer to just do it consensually and lovingly.
Okay.
I feel like first mate and captain. I can see that totally. Like, probably how half of that went down. How else do you earn first mate?
Yeah. There was genuinely a lot of this kind of thing that went on with pirates. Pirates even got married to each other.
Well, you couldn't have women on the ships because it was bad luck.
No. Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
So there was Anne Bonny and a few other female pirates.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it.
And there were women who disguised themselves as men as well, amongst many pirate crews. Right. Okay. So,
So could I pick another ambition if I've just fulfilled one?
yes.
So I want to be remembered forever.
It
Yeah.
would be fun to just dress up and be a pirate. Didn't want to be a
And-
chick anymore.
Increase your ambition
You have to hide it.
by 1, which also means your shit goes back up.
Yeah, but if you're
So
like
6.
really good with a sword and just like stay the fuck away from
Yeah,
me.
you think by reputation.
Yeah, you
alone,
can
you'd
make
be
your
able to-
reputation like
So by fucking
really-
Bert, now
really-
better in fight.
tie down your boobs.
Yes. It's toughened you up.
I'm okay with that.
Alright. So, yeah. So after a couple of days at sea, with the bright sun shining down on the sparkling blue waters, you spot the 2 merchantmen on the horizon. Mere dots at the moment, but they're not far from land. The lookout calls down that he's spotted them and doesn't see any other sails on the horizon.
It's time.
So everyone looks expectantly at the captain.
What say you, crew? Do we go get some plunder?
You're the captain, you tell us.
That's not the rousing cheer I was expecting from you.
Woohoo!
Meeting.
That was some wood up.
Woohoo! Yay!
Right then,
Captain.
hoist the mainsails or whatever the actual thing you want to do
Yes.
to. I don't know how you would get to them quickly. I guess it would be
slap every sheet on the mast, and
Unfurl all the sails.
yeah.
and raise
every-
the Jolly Roger.
Sally forth.
Oh yeah. You asked, but you haven't commissioned a new flag, so you're still using Brimstone's flag, I guess.
Oh.
Can someone like have doodled a cock on it with some paint?
Yes.
Yeah, can I just like paint a cock over it?
So it looks like a flaming skull giving someone a blowjob.
Perfect.
instead of just a flaming skull. Right. The wind fills the sails, and you go hurtling towards the merchantman. So. Ships. So there's a escalation table for pursuit, but not seemingly any rules for actually catching up to them.
Tight skin.
Presumably, if one ship is faster,
Yeah.
it will catch up.
But you don't have a speed stat. Ships, they have descriptions and they have profiles. Okay, so
Dang, he's got like sniper musket.
it's described as being burdened. So I guess we'll take that away from its profile for comparing speeds. Okay, so the ship has its own stats, so you roll for it as a team, basically. So let's see. Compare the profiles of both sides. For fights between players, pirates, whichever side has the highest profile gets additional X's. For fights between a player's side, which is what this is, and NPCs, Games Master rolls 6 dice plus or minus the difference between their profile. Sorry about this, give me a minute. Fighting on a side. Mobs and ships' crews, 2 souls, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's once you actually get on board. Okay. I think I have it.
It's big.
It's so big.
Okay, so the profile for your ship is 10. So, as captain, if Captain Cock rolls 4 dice, and the rest of you all roll 2. And you've got 3 X's going into this fight. So add 3 X's to Captain Cock's sheet.
Okay, what color did you grab? Okay.
And these actively at the end of the fight, is that right?
Yeah, they go at the end of the fight. But at the moment, you're just catching up to the enemy.
Jiffy and I got 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So total up the successes with everybody.
I've got 2 successes.
So total 4 on our end.
So 7 altogether with my 1.
Okay. Okay, realizing they can't outrun you as you come hurtling in towards them, the 2 ships turn together to bring their broadside cannons to bear upon you and begin to open fire. So, Okay, you're heavily gunned. So are you going to engage back or just try and close the distance? You got...
If we shoot back, are we at risk of losing the other ships?
Well, it's two ships and they've both turned together to fire at you.
But we are nimble.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So if we can maneuver so that they cannot always try and put one of them between us, so that they can't both line up against us. Do you see what I mean? So that they, there's always one of them is blocking their line of sight if we're nimble, and just keep trying to close the distance. I would suggest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll consider you trying to get closer while they try to damage you or drive you off. Okay, so this time, everyone roll 3 dice each.
One success.
Oh, we're not so good.
We got 1.
2. So what's that? 4 altogether?
I think this may be
3.
where we need to use the X's.
Yeah. Well, what did you get? None?
I got 1.
Okay, so that's 4. So you're currently tied. So re-roll 1 dice. I'll have the captain do it.
That's a failure.
Okay. They failed as well. So re-roll again.
That's a success.
Okay, so that takes you to 5 versus their 4. Okay, they escalate. So everyone can roll their failed dice.
I get a success.
3 of mine, right?
It's just 1.
Oh, it's just 1. Oh, okay.
We got 1 success out of those.
Okay, and you got...
Yep.
one.
And I got another 1. Yep.
Okay, so that takes you to 3 over them. So gain 3 X's. Right. So they fire and they fire, but you're too quick, and you get right in close to them and sail between them. So if they miss you, they're going to hit each other. So you can either broadside one or both of the ships, or try to board one of them.
Well, we can't offer them the opportunity to surrender if we can't speak to them.
Yeah, but we can't risk one of our people getting killed because there's only 50 of us. Shit.
Probably disable one of them and then come to terms with the other.
Can we shout terms across?
There's cannon fire going off, so you're unlikely to be heard.
I didn't think about that.
There must be a flag for parley, surely.
Yeah. So you could run up a flag for a parley.
That seems like a sensible idea.
Yeah.
Will they stop immediately?
Okay. So you sort of circle around them and get back between them again, throwing up that flag. They run the same flag up. And the captain of... and one of the captains comes to the side of the vessel. His crew all seem to be very busy. Ahoy, that pirate vessel! What do you want? You must know we won't be giving up any of the king's cotton, rum, or other material.
You can see we substantially outgun you.
Ah, but you're stuck between us.
Only as long as we choose to be stuck between you. We're between you so as we can speak. Nobody needs to die.
Well, say your piece then.
You hand over the goods from both your ships and one of your ships. Any of your crew that wish to join us as pirates can join us. Anyone that doesn't can take the other ship and sail away off into the sunset.
And how can we be assured of this?
I'm a man of my word.
We're talking to you.
With, as my esteemed colleague Shifty, don't let the name fool you. We're talking to
Right.
you.
Right.
We could have just killed you.
Roll your ambition.
5 successes.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. Gain 4 more X's.
Fucking hell, I've got 10 X's.
So if it does come to a fight, you're in good standing. With that degree of success. Very well then. You did stop to speak to us, I suppose, and your ship has proven its speed. Very well. If you'll spare our crews, you can have the ships. Well, the ship.
Well, as I say, any of your crew that wish to join us, they'll take a share of the profit when we get to dock and sell this stuff. It's only fair they be allowed to have the option.
Does any man here wish to join the crew? One man puts his hand up, the captain draws his pistol and shoots him dead. Anyone else? No? Good. Well, if you will allow us to draw aside our sister vessel, we will transfer the cargo and move the crew to a single vessel.
Do we have enough crew to limp this thing back to a dock?
Let's have a look. Well, I mean, you're already understaffed, but you could. You wouldn't be able to operate at full capacity, and neither would the ship that you've moved some crew onto. But you should be able to limp back to port without too much trouble, provided nothing goes horribly wrong.
Well, we have a second ship now. It's going to need a captain. Propose me first mate Birch.
I can do that. I captain.
Don't seem to be any major objections. Okay, so they follow your orders. They bring their ships round, laden one down extremely heavily with all the extra loot from the other boat, and move all their crew across onto the other boat.
Since we now have multiple ships, can I be Admiral Cock?
Yes, you can. Right. Well, that is pretty much, unfortunately, all I had planned. So, and you dealt with it by talking, which is just wrong.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. Only one person.
You've softened. Love has softened his heart.
We've killed a lot of cooks.
Yeah, we've killed pirates. The innocent people have largely gone unscathed.
Yeah. So let's see. So the ships would have provided you with plunder.
Is there a bunch of food on the ship?
There will be food, yeah.
Heck yeah.
So you've got about 4 dice of plunder, I think. How does that even work? Not that it matters especially.
Yeah, I figured there was going to be a battle. And then I was going to...
Yeah, and then it wasn't. Well, they tried to fight you,
Yeah.
but it didn't work.
Well, we have to. The tale of Captain Cock has to start somewhere.
Yes. He was frightfully nice. He talked us out of our treasure.
Literally.
For such a small book, it's really hard to look anything up in this.
2 ships and 1 cook. You're going to need another cook.
We should have maybe took their cook.
Tale of 3 cooks.
Maybe that was the cook that wanted to join us and got shot.
So now we have 2 ships. Yeah, that is going to require a whole nother cook.
Okay, so the way plunder works is you roll dice and then add them together, and that gives you the total amount of plunder. So rather than successes, so 18 plunder from the 2 ships.
That's weird.
And then you use it to provide leisure, or for the captain to buy X's before the next battle. You can also use it to repair the ship, make the crew less grumpy, and so on. And then for your leisure, you can then spend plunder that's been assigned to you on your leisure. So
That 18
So-
plunder you're spending on beer and bitches.
yes.
What do you do with leisure exactly?
So leisure means being on shore and free to pursue your own ambitions instead of on board ship and working. Spend 1 for the labour lost to the ship, 1 for bathroom, cash for food and drink, social
Like time
engagements,
almost.
yeah, clothing, treat people to a party or a meal.
Okay.
Yeah, a night of
Okay.
spectacular debauchery, gifts. So yeah, you can use it to like improve your station in society. Yeah, flash the cash, buy things for yourself, things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, that was pretty much all I planned. Not knowing how quick it would be, so unfortunately, we've kind of finished the game really with returning to port with an extra ship in tow, plenty of plunder. It's all gone rather well for you. So what did we think?
I actually quite enjoyed that. I think the rules system works for it.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. And it wasn't too bad, like trying to get an ambition done, which was nice. Like they weren't like, I don't know.
Well,
they
it
weren't
rather depends on the ambition. Since mine were own land, gain a pardon, so it was looking a bit remote.
Yeah, opportunities were slim.
Yeah,
I like the way that the characters' traits are kind of in tension with each other. So it's more about fighting yourself than
Yeah.
the environment and deciding on the balance of things you wanted, or however it turned out randomly, and figuring out how the characters work in that way. Like Cock actually turned out to be a massive social powerhouse, able to persuade people of just about anything, and I think you
Yeah.
kind of picked up on that and went about playing it that way. Lychee was surprisingly vicious.
well, it was interesting because, of course, because of the bargains that I've got, I was just, had we not skipped to that combat, I was just about to sort of go to Absalom and say, I think you might make a better captain, and just stoke that
Yeah, I
ambition.
figured-
And just
I figured if there's a battle, that would have been like the time to kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
mutiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was fun. I mean, the system, it's a slim, small book. I think I stand by my review of it, which was done a couple of years ago now, I guess. I think it suffers from the same problem that a lot of very simple games do, in that the problem is in the interpretation. But you can see how this was a development from his earlier games and how it's leading towards the kind of Powered by the Apocalypse stuff, which is, with the limited moves and so on, which I really don't like. but
I don't think
this,
that this game has much longevity in it. Like
no,
a couple of sessions as something to play as a break from
Yeah.
the regular game or something.
yeah, as a pickup, I think it's a lot of fun. And it wouldn't have been too hard for me to improvise more, but because it's so simple, you could just pull statistics out of your ass, which is
Yeah.
easy. But to ease back into streaming that's not tabletop-less, and to get used to the software and everything all at once was a bit of an ask. So, but yeah, I think we'll draw it to a close there then. Thank you all for playing. Thank you to everyone who was watching. Sorry we weren't paying too much attention to the comments.
There's an epic poem about Admiral Cock in the comments.
I
think it's a really fun way to like bring somebody in who doesn't play a bunch of like RPG games. And
yeah,
it's, like,
simple games are good for that.
Yeah, I think it would be a good way to just bring in a couple people who haven't ever played it. Like, it's a nice, easy.
Kuru isn't an issue if you're only a cannibal occasionally. It's more of a generational BSE type situation. So that's why we didn't roll for that. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone. I don't know what I'm going to run next, but it'll be something else I've never run before. Maybe in a couple of weeks. Go check out my main channel, Postmortem Video. If you might be interested in playing a game with me and whoever else wants to, join the Discord, and I'll let you know. Bye.
Bye, thank you.